Hello, hello, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you here again. So, today we're going to talk about knowing my nervous system has made me well in this era. So, I want to tell you that the reason that I'm doing this is because I have been noticed while I have been working in real estate and also in myself that our nervous system is our DNA. It's pretty much everything that is in our is in us. And then you will find out that you're reacting, you're making decisions based on some experiences. And those experiences are like a hard drive or has a memory in your body and in your mind as well. And that will affect the way that you react in some events. And I'm bringing to you this because I have been noticed that when we are working in any of our professions, or we are the one in charge, or we have the responsibilities because we want to see it that way, because we think that everything is in our shoulders and we're carrying the world in our shoulders, we have even more pressure about the things that is happening or what the decision would be or whatever is happening for us in our home or in our businesses. And I was thinking, since everything started, since the Homo sapiens has been here, we, the women, have been the one nourish the house. We are the ones at home taking care of the most important things, that is the kids, the everything in order, everything being done, having maybe the flowers on the table or have this kind of stuff ready. But the guys, the men, are the one that are going out hunting. They are the one that has the fight or flight effect, because if they are not aware of what is happening in their surrounding, they can be the prey. Okay, and they're looking for the way to give us what we need, that it will be the food, right, for us to be feeding our kids and so on. When we are think or we're looking for those tribes, those the way that we grow, we were the ones having the things for nourish and continue our culture to be going on generations through generations through generations. Even our daughters are the one that we're going to continue teaching them to continue past everything that we do. The boys, when they have a certain age, they're going with the dad to go and try to hunt for the whole community or the whole tribe. Times has been changed, women's has been changed, and situations has been changed. For example, we were like a in this cocoon that we are married, and because we are married, we need to hold that marriage forever, no matter what. And that was when the feminist era came, and we don't need to hold in that. We can move on, start all over, or by ourselves or with another partner. But at the same time, that thing also make us to move in different route. And now we are the one going out to be hunting. Now we're changing our energies. Now we're changing who we are. And I have been noticed this in real estate, but also I noticed this with my mom and my aunts, because we have this amazing, I don't know why, trait that the women's getting the same kind of guys, right? And in my family was not a different. So we had this men with the same traits pretty much, and the woman has to be the alpha in the house. The woman has to have the control. The woman has to be out working. It's not that they doesn't work. They were working, but the woman doesn't feel secure in the house anymore. They need to go out. They need to go and save or trying to cover whatever they're thinking that they don't feel secure. And that is when the separation, right, between the man hunting, providing for the woman's and the woman's being safe since the years before is not happening anymore. They're getting disconnected. For that reason, we are getting disconnected. But the thing is that who are having this kind of experiences are our parents or our aunts. But what happened when they are having us in their pregnancy, in the gestation period, we are carrying that DNA, that nervous system, that experiences are getting attached with us. When we are going to be in this life and our parents, our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers has been in this situation, the fight or flight, in this energy change, in this other completely unknown situation. There's so collapsing of generation. There's collapsing of this feminist and masculinity, and those two are collapsing so big that we don't know what to do, that we don't know how to respond, that we don't have like a limit for when do I start, when do I finish. When we have this situation that we don't know where the limits come, is when we get unfortunate, like this alpha women, we get workaholic. We put everything in front of us, like we had to meet this kind of number or expertise or whatever is the limit for us to feel that we're doing exactly what we need to do, like we worth, right? Because the thing is that we came here to be partners, but all of a sudden we had to be one for whatever the situation would be. In our case, or my family's case, the feminist in my family becomes the alpha, but at the same time assuming the same kind of schedules as the guys. It's like the parenting is just for the weekend, because during the week, they had to provide as well. They had to have this kind of security because they don't feel comfortable. They don't feel secure as a woman. That that situation is what is having changed a lot of us. When I was working in real estate, I was trying to notice is why these women have been so stressed and feel so much responsibility as a provider when they have a husband that provides. Is because they have the same experience. Everything comes from that DNA. And another thing that I have been noticed is that when I get more deep in information, or they will start giving me more information, they have some kind of abandonment. So their parents abandon them, or the parents are divorced and the mom has to go and down now be the provider. But that being the provider put her in so much testosterone level that she was all the time working. And then the kids, what it says is, yeah, we have everything, but we don't have that. We don't have that time with her. We wasn't in time. We haven't had a time to enjoy her. When I was growing up, I have been seeing the same thing. I have been noticed my mom taking care of us, the family. Even my dad is the provider. My mom step in. My mom feels the same insecurities that maybe my grandma feels. My grandpa was a VA, so he has to be deployed, right? So my grandpa was in the World War II. Actually, the day that he was deployed, the day after, the second day, they would finish the World War II. But even though that experience, that separation is hard for whatever will be living that experience at that moment. And I know that my grandma has some other nervous breakdown, because when she has my youngest aunt, she has the after pregnancy depression. So she had been back and forth with so many stuff that could also be carried from my mom, my other aunt, and then I have it because I going to continue inherit it. Also, my brothers has that. In a different aspect, I have been noticed that my brother is very like my mom. He doesn't like to fight with anyone. He is a people pleasing. We were, well, I was a people pleasing, but he is very people pleasing because he doesn't want to fight. He wants to have any problem with anyone. I noticed that it's because we have to move out from our femininity to go 100% in this alpha female that is very strong for us. We didn't know what is the limit to go from one side to another and how to come back. And the funny thing is that right now we have been noticed this even more. Why? Because it's very acceptable. Now the woman work as much as the guy with the same schedules, with the same responsibilities, and we still saying that we were we earn less than them. And I will tell you, the women in real estate earn more money than guys. So it's a big secret. It's a big secret. But we also, because of this change and this differences between the woman to keep some time quiet, even she's the alpha woman, she's still scared how the society is going to see her. And the thing is that when something like that when something like that happened, she you notice that she keep quiet because she doesn't want to bring any kind of situations. She doesn't want to bring any kind of um, fighting or some kind of force on this. But the thing is that we don't ask. We don't ask because we wasn't teach for that. When you're asking, it's like you're asking for permission or you're asking for someone to give it to you authorization, and it's not that. You're asking for that's what you want to have. And many of the women that say, hey, I don't have the same income or salary at this guy, because I'm a woman, I bet that you haven't asked for it because you have the same, you have everything and you have the same or even more to earn even more that they earn. But you need to ask. And those kind of stuff come from who we are. We used to be at home. We used to be having everything set, everything ready for us. We just had to wait for the guys to come from hunting and prepare the meal. We were at home, relaxed, doing what we had to do at home, but without to be in fight or flight. That's for them. When we start growing up in this situation, we start seeing that the woman doesn't know how to decompress all this need or obligations or requirements from society. Because it's not that we're just going to do just one thing. The thing is that we are also mothers, we're daughters, we're sisters, we're friends. And we had to pretty much, that's what we think that we had to do, make everybody happy. Oh, you're so good. You had to be perfect. You had to comply with everyone. You don't have to. And that's another thing that we need to stop. We don't need to be people pleasing. People doesn't need to be happy with us. That's when our nervous system come in place. You will start feeling like, okay, this person is not talking to me anymore because I say this and this. When you say it was offensive, or you just saying because you feel the need to say it to put a stop on that, because you need to break a pattern, because you need to put some kind of boundaries. And something that we need to be aware of is that we need to know that we're not offending anyone when we are putting our boundaries. That's part of our nervous system. Where sometimes we say yes to so many stuff that we know when we have to say no and we say yes. I'm pretty sure if I ask you how many times have you fearing your God right here that you shouldn't do something and you're doing it and then you regret it that you did it and you did not pay attention to your God. That's why you have your sixth sense. So you had to start learning how to use your nervous system. We have things encrypted in our nervous system that it wasn't from us. That's our parents' experience. That's our grandpa experience. Those generationals that happen, situations that happen with them, we are carrying in our DNA. But we respond. We know we can hear a music, and I want you to do the experience. You can hear a music that you don't like it, and you will try to find out exactly why, and you will see it. Your nervous system, your body will react one way that you want to shut it down. You need to completely change that energy, that frequency. That's the same thing that is something good happen. You hear a good music and you say, oh my gosh, I remember that when I was graduating or when I was dating, or you will remember that. And then you want to hear the song like 20 times because you like that energy. That's your nervous system. Your nervous system is your body, and your body keep those reactions in it. And we need to learn how to take those reactions out of our body if we would like to go and move forward. We cannot complain, and we cannot say that our limitations or our stuff is because something else. We cannot be complaining that's because something happened to us, that's why we behave this way. I have been I always have been looking at my life, and I have been looking my childhood, and I have a good childhood that I remember, but it was also very stressful and very tight. My mom gets sick when I was 9 years old. My grandma passed. So I have a newborn 1 year old baby brother that I had to take care of him at 9 years old. Also, my dad was at home with my other brother that has like 2 years or 3 years by that time. And I had to cook and clean and take care of everyone. My mom was sleeping in the hospital. My mom never left the bed of my grandma. And I feel abandoned, of course. It's, it's not my responsibility. I'm just 9 years old. I'm just barely, was supposed to be barely playing with the dolls when I wasn't having the time to do that. But I had to go to school to have a good grades. So how everything that happened at home, my environment, I need to fight with that and try to have a good childhood, good memories, and don't bring that bad energy to my kids when I have them. How responsible am I from who I was, who I'm become, and who I would like to be? Not because I have this business and I have 2 real estate offices. How is this business will not interfere with my family? How we can put that together? Why? Because my parents has a business. My mom used to help my grandpa in his business. I know the time that you spend there, and I know the process, and I know that she never take out the hat. Even when grandpa comes back home to eat dinner at 6 o'clock, they were talking about business. When my dad comes, they work in the same place, they were talking about business. Every time it was about business. Then my other aunt, her husband, my uncle work in the business, and they're talking about business. Then my uncle came home and they're talking about business. There was business 24/7. But my mom didn't see anything wrong on that. but she was running the house the same way that my grandpa was running the business at home. And then is when we start having this kind of situations with my dad, the alpha, and my mom, the alpha, want to control. So both want to control. So when this lady tried to control more, then he was getting verbally abused. And every Friday when they pay, because my mom was there, when she tried to get the money for the house, this guy get offensive because now you're taking money from his pocket out of the pocket. There's two bank accounts at home. Actually, they didn't even have a bank account. Just my mom has the bank account. She took all the money. She gave like a $20 or $30, something like that, and that was supposed to be working for the until the next week. But he doesn't want to do that. So that fighting over the Friday's paycheck, I don't want to have that when I get married. I don't want to see my kids seeing that. So I am having that thing embedded in my nervous system. Fridays fighting over what? Over money. That was the first thing. I used to hate Fridays because they were fighting over money. So, how can I think that money is good when my parents are killing themselves because of the money? And my mom is not at home because she's working. Why? Because she needs the money. My aunt either, because she also need the money. So everybody was out working. Forget about the kids because they need the money. Okay, fine. We all need the money. But how much did you put it on the side because you need the money? How can you balance it? The need that you have because you're the provider for whatever the situation will be, but without forgetting that you have your responsibilities, you have your kids, you have maybe your studies, maybe you have this dream that you want to have. And I was talking to my husband the other day, and I told him, you have been working so much since I know you, but so much. I don't know if you want to compensate working to provide us everything that we wanted. And if you're resting, you think that you're not providing anything. Because the same way work for the girls than for the boys. They also have a nervous system. They also have things embedded. They can embed it lack. They can embed it some kind of addiction. The same with us. There's things that we need to break. There are needs that we need to know exactly what happened with us to modify those and make us free. And another thing that I noticed when I was working with my agents is that this woman's, it was one of them, she told me, hey, you know what, that the other day, my husband came from work. I was in the computer and he says, can you give me a kiss? And I says, okay, hurry up because I have something else to do. And I says, girl, you're doing something. He asked for a kiss, you give the kiss, and you don't say anything else. There's something that we need to remember. Things are going to be there. They are not going to be there. Us, we're not going to be there forever. Our kids are not going to be there forever. Every moment counts like a diamond. It's so important that you make a quality time with your partner, with your kids, with the people that you love. When we see the time goes so fast. Time flies. And I think that we all know, have been seeing this or saying this once in our lives. Or we start college, we finish college. Oh my God, time flies. 4 years already passed. All of a sudden, your kids are getting married, and you're, oh my gosh, time flies. Those kind of stuff are the things that we need to remember who we are. We need to get this nervous system in recorded again. We had to have that GPS and modify it again. We need to remember the basics. And the basics, even you have to be out as a provider, as a woman, as an alpha woman, you need to remember to disconnect it. You need to remember every single day after you clock out of the office or you're just going back home from the office, shut down the phone. No more phone calls until the office is burning. If the office is burning, that they're calling you because the office is burning, then you have to pick up the phone. But you need to have a time at least to hear a music that help you to enjoy, to go back to your femininity, to go back to your sexiness. Sorry. And this is something that we cannot forget. We need to go back to, hey, hon, what are you doing? Or with the kids, hey, guys, I'm on my way home. So we need to remember to drop that CEO woman, that alpha woman that is working. Because now at home, nobody needs the alpha woman. They need the nature one, the one that coming to provide love. Sorry, coming to provide love, to provide that kind of that energy that nourish the house. That's when the difference comes. We need to know when do we activate the CEO and when we're going to put her to sleep. You cannot go to the bed with your husband, with your partner, as the CEO because you're going to be doing instructions. You're not going to be enjoying your time. You're not going to be yourself in it. And those are the things that you need to remember. We don't need always the CEO alpha woman. That nervous system has to be rerouted. It needs to be changed. Things that I changed in my life that I put in a purpose on it was to do not fight on Fridays over money. I was very scared that that happens to me, that I don't even fight at home. We don't fight. First, I don't want my kids to grow with a fighting parents. Second, I don't going to fight over money. I don't think it's worth it. Third, why I'm going to continue repeating something that I hated so much. I hate it. It bothers me. I don't want it in my life. If it make me feel uncomfortable. So those things you need to shut it down. You know that because your nervous system lets you know. Because you know the days of the month. You know the days of the week. When Friday comes, you will feel something different. I was listening to a book, and the book says that people, when they want changes, they should be changing even the routing to go to work or from work going to home. If you want some kind of different in your life, it's changing what you're doing every single day as your, how they call it, well, I forgot the name, but whatever you do continuously as a routine, change it, and you will start seeing changes in your life because you're cutting out that completely pattern. And when you cut down that pattern, then new things start happening. Another thing that I always want to have, it was a very happy family. I had my kids being happy because I wasn't completely happy. At 90 years old, I had to take care of my brothers, and I say my kids because I thought they were my kids. But I grew up so fast, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't enjoy life as a kid. So that was something else that I want to change. I want my kids being kids. I don't want them to grow up until the time come. So those things are in my nervous system. If I see something, for example, maybe a doll or a movie that I wasn't able to watch, or a show that I wasn't able, I remember, okay, it was about this because of this. I remember what I used to cook when I have 9 years old. I remember, and I don't cook anymore that food because it reminds me that, right? And then we need to start shutting down and changing the meanings of the stuff, because it's not then you finish doing some stuff that it doesn't need to be changed that way, but you have to find a way to save your energy, yourself. And I want you to think about this. Many of us has so many stuff scripted in our nervous system, and I saw it with my girls in the at the office. Some of them could be an abandonment, frustrations, limitations, anxieties for so many situations that they happened when they were young, when they were kids. And sometimes we don't know how do we react when we are adults, but everything is related with that experience that we have. That also is a trigger in our nervous system. I bet you that if something happened, you will say, I don't know why. I feel so uncomfortable with this. I feel this somewhere else. That something that happened made me feel this way and I don't like it. You will remember because your body keep it. If we don't know how to disconnect that feeling from our body, it will stay there forever. That's why sometimes we react to some situations that we don't know why we did it. And it's because it happens before, maybe to us or maybe in our generations back. And we are reacting based on that scripted that we have in our DNA. This is the things that I want to tell you. And this is a story that happens with my agent. She was purchasing a house, and in the process of purchasing the house, she was asking for some document from the IRS. So she prepared everything. Her accountant was supposed to send all the documentation sometime. I don't know what happened that the accountant never sent it. And without that document, she would not be able to close because it's part of the document that the financing asking, the lenders were asking for to closing. When she called me, she says, Rosalina, this is happening to me. I says, girl, we have to have faith. We still have like a 10 days for this to happen, 10 to 15 days, something like that. Just breathe and let that God play with that. You just already told him, I need a document, right? So just wait for the document with being here. You know what happened? She never disconnect from the stress of that document and the thing that she maybe the possibility to lose the house. How that material thing getting better in herself, that she was almost able, well, she has an accident with one of her kids. Something happened that after that she told me what happened, and she feels so bad and so guilty for what happened, the way that she react, that I told her, do you think that the house really is that much of the worth for you to have that personal situation with your son? Why does she react that way? Because if she has an abandonment issues, and the just the idea to lose this house is like she's not worth it. She feels that the connection, she feels like this is an abandonment as well. And we cannot see the life that way. Sometimes things happen because something better has come up. And I know it's a lot of stress. I know you have a lot of things to be thinking, but the first thing that it is, she's not a homeless. She is moving from this house that she still owns, not even rented. She's still living in that house, and she's going to be moving to the next one. So she is not losing anything. The worst case scenario is that she will not get that house, or maybe something better comes. But she wasn't open for that. So all the emotions and the energy that she has it, make her to have one bad decision with her son that now mark that experience for her forever. Why? Because if she told me the way that she feels, she has that already integrated in her nervous system. One way or another, in another situation would happen, something will happen that she will remember that. And the thing is that when we cannot canalize that stress level in our system, every time that our stress level go to that high, we can make decisions that then we cannot go back. We don't find the way to turn it back. After we say something or we do something, then we come with the guilt. Now anything can be changed. The thing is that we can change things before happening. And there's some things that I have been done because working with people is not easy, dealing with people is not easy, dealing with transactions is not easy, and trying to be the best of yourself is not easy, but it's super, super nice. The challenge is amazing. I really like this because I have been noticed that every time that I put this in practice, even more and more and more and more, I have been seeing so many changes around me and the people around me. And sometimes I have been here, and it happens to me too. Oh, this person, this and this and this and this. We're blaming the other person. The other person maybe is a reflection of you, and you have to be careful with that. So I don't want to have that kind of reflection in anyone. So I need to have a better me. So I'm working on myself, expecting a better reaction of others. It's the best way that I can do that. I did it on purpose because I said when I was young girl, I don't want to have this in my marriage. I don't want to have this as a mother. I don't want to do this um, in my house. I did it on purpose because I make a decision. It was a desire, and it was so heavy, that desire, that I embedded in my bed, in my heart, and in my body. That's why I always says no one will be in between my husband and me. I will take care of my marriage the best way possible. No circumstances, not even her mom or my parents. No, why? Because that is me. That's my marriage. That's what I promise. Because my marriage is me. My kids is me, and it's part integrated of my marriage. My marriage, my kids is my family. It's me. I'm the one that is nourished them. I'm the one in charge of that. I'm the one with that energy for them to be happy, secure, stable. My husband provides, but if I'm not happy with my husband providing, then I'm gonna have a fighting at home, and now a disconnection is there and happen. And that's the problem. When I'm not happy with this, how I going to react? It will be the chaos that I can have at home. And I can only get that through meditation. I need to have the time to get back to me, not to anybody else. Who is important right here is me, because from me, they are going to get everything that they need. I am the responsible for me to be safe, for me to be health, to be well, for me to be happy, for me to be nourished, for me to be me. If I am unbalanced, they will be unbalanced. This is a chain of events. I'm the responsible one. So it doesn't matter if you're the CEO in that business. When you finish that and you clock out, or you're finished for the day, get disconnected. Go back to your position as a woman. Enjoy your nourish. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your femininity. When you're at home, you're not the CEO of your kids. Because the thing is that even we want it, They have their own personalities. And you know what is the worst case in it? What the word thing is that they are half you, half your husband. And it's even more hard to work with. You need to listen, understand, and just talk. Have a conversation. They know, they will understand, and you will see how much your life will change. Take time to meditate. Take time for yourself. Take time to close the door and take a shower or a bath. Take a time for do your nails, your hair, your petty. Take the time to journal. Put it in a paper before to say it to anyone. That paper and that connection with the universe or God, and God and your inner self will give it to you all the answers. I promise you. You will notice how much you will grow, how much everything will change, and how things are going to start solved so easily without you had to do much. It will be like magic. So I hope this has been good for you guys. I hope to you enjoy exactly what I really enjoy. I enjoy to do the things that make me feel super happy. Don't having this kind of energy to waiting for someone to make me happy. I need to be happy now. I need to enjoy every single day. I need to have this connection with the universe. I need to every single day nourish myself because that was my first job. Even I'm working right now in the society with my businesses and my stuff. My first job was nourish, love, security, balance. I need to go back to there. So I hope this exercise will help you. Remember, meditate, light a candle, with us. If you wanted to have essence, do it, but enjoy it and sit and enjoy the smell and relax with the music. Take a time to decompress all that energy that doesn't belong to you and come back to be you. I guarantee you it's going to be the best decision ever. So take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.